Our second contestant, Mr. Stephen Morgan, the bright idea, Stephen Morgan.
Who has siblings? Who gets along with their siblings? Interesting how that changed. I have two sisters, they're both younger. Laura is 2.5 years younger than me. Joni is 7 years younger than me. Obviously, when I left for college, Joni was still just getting the routines. Big gap between us. We don't know each other very well as a result. But Laura and I are close. She decided to learn a few things from me along the way. She learned math along the way, which got her to her master's in statistics. But it was something that she tried much younger that was rather interesting. I had actually already gone to college. She got the bright idea. She was going to go sneak out and see her boyfriend. She probably should have thought this all the way through the end, because the most important thing about sneaking out is don't get caught. And for some reason, she's upset with me about this. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, she comes by it naturally. I'm referring to our mother. Our mom grew up on base in Japan. Very different life from just about anyone you would know. As opposed to our father, he actually grew up on the Morgan Ranch down in Davie with horses and riding them all over the place. When I'm 11, Laura's 7, my mom gets the bright idea. We should take riding lessons. She probably should have thought this all the way through to the end, because how does a modest middle-class household find riding lessons in the DC suburbs? Apparently it requires a 45-minute drive. On one of those drives, you end up going through those country roads, and not quite the steep mountains, sorry. But we did see a turtle on the side of the road. And you know what kids are like when they see something neat and interesting. Ooh, look, a turtle right there. My mom got the bright idea. Let's stop and take the turtle. So she stops the car as we get out to go pick up the turtle, which was a lot larger than anyone I'd ever seen before. I was able to pick it up to get it into the car. Because, of course, we're excited. We're going to have another pet to play with when we get home. We resume our journey. We're on our way to riding lessons. But it doesn't take long, because 10, 15 minutes down the road, you can tell we're thinking, oh, where are we going to keep it? That's pretty big. What do we feed it? What is that smell? That's when my mom got the bright idea that maybe she should undo her other bright idea. Stops the car and says, okay, let's just get it out, put it back. Has me come out and tells me to get Turtle back out of the car. Our car was a Toyota Tercel, a hatchback. Which means I have to reach in and somehow grab a hold of this big turtle to try and pick it up and pull it out. I don't even have the same leverage. And as it turns out, turtles can really crane their necks back a long way. And that hooked beak is not something you want near your arm. I couldn't pick the thing up. I was too afraid of it actually biting me. Therefore, we figured out, well, I guess we're going to have to continue with the turtle and the smell in the back on our way to riding lessons. But that's okay. Mom had another bright idea. We were, after all, going to a horse farm. There are people there who know how to deal with animals. They'll have a way, big men, I'm sure, who can come over and pick it up and be able to handle it. She probably should have thought this one all the way through to the end, because that meant she had to walk up to these men working there and explain how this middle-class mom with a couple of kids got up with this big turtle in the back of her car. And there's no way you could avoid the smirks the snickers, the rolling eyes, and the laughs that you could hear going on as they tried to figure out, what are we going to do with this? They weren't going to reach in and grab the turtle either. Their idea was to actually take a rake, hook it on one side of its shell, flip it up and over until it tumbled out onto the ground. It worked. It survived. It started walking off. Somewhere along the line, we know that the stories that they're already concocting, that they're going to be telling people for years to come. And somewhere I heard turtle soup. I don't know whose bright idea that was, but I certainly hope they think it all the way through to the end. The key here is that when you have a bright idea, I know you get excited and it's fun, but pause a moment. You should probably think it all the way through to the end. Because if you don't, you might not realize how that story gets told and retold over the next 20, 30, and 40 years in front of audiences that get to hear the same story over and over again. Mr. Gonzalez.